All right, a very good evening to you, Ndu Oko, and also our viewers from wherever you are watching us from. 24 hours to the by-elections that are slated for the 27th of November. That is tomorrow. We are so excited for that. But of course, there are many reasons as to why we are holding those by-elections. Remember, they are 16 wards, 6 constituencies, and 1 senatorial seat. Of course, we're going to be explaining to you why exactly we are holding those by-elections. And of course, we are going to be starting with Magarini constituency in Kilifi County, where, of course, we want to understand why exactly is it that we are having these by-elections in Magarini constituency. There, as you can see on your screens, this is a constituency that has 450,000 registered voters. Why are we having these by-elections? It is because in 2022, after the general election, that is Harrison Kombe was declared the winner, but after Supreme Court ruling, actually that particular election was actually nullified. That is why we are having this by-election. It is one of the constituencies that for the longest time has not had any representation, and that of course is the reason as to why we are having that particular by-election there in Magarini County. It is a contest that we are very keen on. Remember, it will be against ODM party against DCP party. Once DCP party takes this home, it will be a major win for there you have it. Once DCP candidate, that is Kenga Stanley, takes that seat, of course it will be a major win for former Deputy President, that is Rigathi Gachagua, who for many have been thinking that he's only a leader of the Mount Kenya region. So once he bags this particular seat from the Magarini constituency, he may actually take that away. But this is not a light contest. It is a heavy contest. And of course, we're going to be seeing how that particular contest shapes up tomorrow. As I said, we are having this by-election because Harrison Kombe, who was declared the winner in the 2022 presidential election, lost that seat following a Supreme Court ruling. These are also some of the candidates that we have. Kalama Emmanuel Kitsao of RPK party, that is Roots Party. But just to mention is that the Roots Party leader, that is Wajakoya, had said that they're going to drop their candidate in favor of a DCP party. But we're going to see how that pans out tomorrow. That is one of the constituencies. The other one is Banisa in Mandera County. Banisa in Mandera County. Why are we having these by-elections in Banisa, you may ask? It is because the MP, that is the late Kulo Malim Hassan, died following a road accident in 2023. This is a county that has 32,703 registered voters. And just to mention some of the candidates who are vying for this particular by-election in Banisa is the brother to the late member of parliament, that is Kulo Malim Hassan. His brother will also be vying for that particular seat, and is going to be going head-on with an independent candidate. That particular constituency, as I said, has 32,703 registered voters. Now we also want to look at another very hot seat. That is the Mbeere North seat. This is a seat that was rendered vacant after the current cabinet secretary, that is Geoffrey Roku, was absorbed by the Kenya Kwanza government into the cabinet. Therefore, that seat was rendered vacant. It is a constituency that has 55,124 registered voters. What does that mean? This is a seat that I know it's very hot. Everyone wants to see how this will pan out, because for some, it is actually it is a contest between the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, and the current Deputy President, that is Kithure Kindiki. It is a seat that we are expecting to see how it will pan out. Apart from that, we also have one in Malava. How did we get there, you may ask again? This is following the death of Malulu Injendi earlier this year, who died while receiving treatment. There, as you can see there on your screens, we want just to see the numbers of Malava constituency. It has 94,417 registered voters. We got here, as I said, following the death of Malulu Injendi earlier this year, who passed on, and it is a constituency, as I say, that has 94,000 votes. Apart from that, you also have Ugunja. Of course, these are just some of the candidates. We have Panyako Seth, who is on DAP Kenya. That is one of the opposition coalitions. We also have Mwanga, who stepped down in favor of the DAP Kenya candidate. And we also have DNA Party, that is Manyasi Joab Burudi, and so on. So this is also one of the constituencies that, like I said earlier, we have this by-election because the Member of Parliament, sadly lost him in a road accident. That is in Malava. We now want to cross over to Ugunja and find out why exactly we are having that particular by-election. Now, we are having the by-elections in Ugunja constituency, Siaya County, that has 46,478 registered voters because the former member of parliament is now a cabinet secretary. That is Opiyo Wandayi, energy cabinet secretary, who was absorbed by the Kenya Kwanza government following the broad-based government that was formulated between the ODM party and the UDA party, that is between the late Raila Odinga and President William Ruto. It is a constituency that has 46,000 registered voters. These are, of course, some of the candidates that we are having in Ugunja. A tight race, I tell you, but our reporters are on the ground, and tomorrow as early as 6 a.m. we're going to be showing you how Kenyans are voting in different constituencies. Apart from that, another hot contest, Kasipul. This is a constituency that has 67,513 registered voters. How did we get here, you may ask? This is following the death of Ongodo Were, who was shot here in Nairobi by a gunman. And also interesting about that particular seat is that the inheritor, or the person who wants to inherit that particular seat, is his son, Boyd Were, and also an independent candidate. Of course, this is another seat that we're expecting to see how that will pan out. And apart from those 6 constituencies, we also have one senatorial seat that is in Baringo County following the death of William Cheptumo, who passed on this year at a Nairobi hospital. And apart from in Baringo County, they have 657 polling stations. Apart from that, we also have 16 wards. What you may see out of all this, Ndu and our viewers, is that these numbers are relatively low. But the analysts that we spoke to said as much as these by-elections do not really measure the 2027 national elections, they're also big. They're also going to ensure that either the losers or the winners of this particular by-elections, that is the opposition and the government, they're going to get their house in order as they prepare, of course, for the 2027 general election. Of course, it is a contest that we are waiting to see how that will pan out. But apart from that, tomorrow